The 2023 edition of the Women Conference, a program from the Office of the University of Ilorin Students' Union Vice President, Hosseini Islamiyat Arinola, held at the university's main auditorium on 20th of June 2023. The event, which had in attendance students in their thousands, several invited guests, was themed Accelerating Women and Youth in Productive Activities, a study of Kwara State Government Youth Trust Policy. In his welcome address, the Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Abdulwahab Egberoli San, ably represented by the Dean of Student Affairs Unit, Professor N.T. Yakubu, describes the theme of the program as not only apt but very timely.
Just a very short address from the Vice-Chancellor. The topic of the Women Conference, Accelerating Women and Youth in Productive Activities, a study of Kwara State Government Youth Trust Policy, is not only apt, but also very timely. Now that there is a need to seriously engage the youths to be more productive. The discussion this theme will generate here today and the various papers that will be presented at this conference will further enhance the productivity of our women and the youth of this country.
In her own speech, the 35th Vice President of the Students' Union, who is also the convener of the program, Hosseini Islamiyat Arinola, asserts that the theme of the event, though simple, calls for deep reflection.
The theme of this program is simple, yet calls for deep reflection.
She also gives accolade to the Kwara State government for its active involvement in empowering and involving women of the state in governance.
We are not where we were yesterday, and our problems today shows that we have a vast pool of resources and ideas to solve our problems if we integrate gender roles and we create free zone for selfless contributions to the growth of our institutions. Few among the leadership in the country is the Kwara State government, under the leadership of His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdurazak, whom women have the highest representation in his cabinet. A departure from the previous culture of relegating women to mere political support base in Kwara State and Nigeria at large. Also, in the history of our country, Kwara State produced the youngest female commissioner and special advisors. Few months ago, His Excellency appointed a young man as the Commissioner for Information in Kwara State. These, among others, boosted the spirit of young people in the state and reshaped the political landscape.
She lays emphasis on the fact that there are still problems faced by females in the society. She describes the conference as one that will shape mindsets.
We are still fighting battles against bringing down the relevance of females in our society, as we do not have the rights and muscles. Platforms such as this assist in bringing us closer to changing the mindset and acknowledging people who are fighting alongside us provides valuable points for our advocacy. Keep our discussion here today, regardless of where we will differ, bring us closer more than ever before to reshape the landscape.
Speaking at the event, the First Lady of Kwara State, Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Olufolake Abdulrazak, ably represented by the Permanent Secretary of Tertiary Education Board, Hajia Habibat Salmat Saidu, describes the theme as perfect for our contemporary society.
I think this is just a topic at the right time. And the reason is, all along, topics that we've had are emancipating women, including women, reviving women, and all that. Okay, women have been recognized, but we are now working in tandem with what is existing in the globe. The world is moving, and that is why the aspiration for women and youth development and their activities is just the right topic. So I congratulate the organizer for choosing this particular topic. It is just right.
She asserts that advocating for women's involvement in society has gone beyond the clamor for equality as it presents women as second class citizens, but it is now about equity, which is progress and development in action.
Women and youth. Obviously, when we talk of these two people as being in the forefront of global call for development, we are talking about how we can improve the condition, the well-being, and the productivity of the two of them. That is the global trend. But I want to believe that we have surpassed that. And I think that is why the issue of equality is being played down nowadays. What we talk about is equity. When you talk of equality for women, equality for youth, definitely you make them the second class citizens. But when you talk of equity for all, it means the progress and development are really manifesting. And today, here, you are all witness to that. The leaders of tomorrow, we're proud of you.
She concludes her speech by encouraging women to impact the society in their own little way to make the country stand out.
Who is an outstanding woman? Can anybody tell me? An outstanding woman is you. You and you. You are the outstanding woman. In essence, what I'm trying to say here is it is good to emulate some great women, but it is good to have your own thought as well. Who do you want to be? How do you want to be remembered? What do you want to be called for? What will be your impact in the society? These and many other questions are thrown to you. What is your song? Our state, this is our country, this is our song, our little contributions. Everybody's little contribution will make what this nation to become. And you have a lot to do, women and youth, mothers of tomorrow. I wish you the best.
The president of Students' Union, Faji Oluwatobiloba Samuel, ably represented by the Assistant General Secretary of the Union, Queen Oladoyin Kolawole, in a zone address, explains that women's voices have become catalysts for change in our modern world, where they have displayed exceptional abilities in creating innovations beneficial to our society, shattering glass ceilings and impediments to assume their positions in the world today.
Celebrate the remarkable, unrivaled, distinct, and unparalleled qualities of women, and also acknowledge their immeasurable contributions in various spheres and dimensions of leadership, business, and governance. Undeniably, women possess a unique strength, a strength established in their resilience, compassion, and unwavering determination and devotion. Through their exceptional qualities, abilities, and unparalleled accomplishments, women have demonstrated time and again that their influence knows no bounds and that they are limitless. In the diverse and multifaceted leadership realms, women have shattered glass ceilings and overcome societal barriers and impediments to claim their rightful place at the helm of nations, organizations, and communities, pioneering growth and contributing to excellence. With wisdom and keen interest, they have led with a vision that prioritizes empathy and inclusivity, fostering environments of collaboration and nurturing growth. Their voices, now heard, have become catalysts for change, inspiring generations and breaking down barriers that hinder progress.
The first keynote speaker, Engineer Dr. Mrs. Wura Ola Atinuke Owolabi, the CEO of Wolvercat International Limited, an engineering company, states that social media usage, especially for networking, is a very important tool for women to develop themselves.
Do you all have social media handles? What do you do on your social media handles? Is it just to position to show off your clothes? No. Social media handle is a place you need to network.
She also engages the students in an interactive session on the concepts that were discussed in the course of her speech.
What do you want to say by the word leadership? Is the act of influencing someone or a group of people in their activities in order to accomplish goals of the people. What do you understand by the word entrepreneurship, please? Entrepreneurship is innovation, creating solutions to a problem that affects people. This is a solution that is different from the approach that has been accepted. Thank you.
She concluded her speech by stating that in order to achieve accelerated roles of women in society, a collaborative effort in policy changes as well as mentorship programs will be needed to unlock a world of unhindered potentials.
Achieving gender equality, which is also one of the SDG goals, requires collective effort, including policy changes, mentorship programs, and cultural issues. By embracing and celebrating the talent and capabilities of women, we can unlock a world of untapped potentials, benefiting individuals, communities, and the world at large. Thank you very much.
The second keynote speaker, Mrs. Islamiyat Oyin Olodo, a community manager and serial entrepreneur, begins her speech by analyzing the statistics of women's involvement in different spheres of the society.
Average, Nigerian women earn approximately 30% less than their male counterparts for equivalent work, mostly in private sectors. The gender pay gap contributes to significant loss of potential income over women's lifetime, affecting our ability to invest, save, and participate fully in economic activities. According to recent studies, the gender pay gap is wider in sectors such as manufacturing, finance, and agriculture, where women's representation is lower.
She says these statistics should serve as a clarion call for a collaborative effort in society.
Call for change. These statistics should serve as clarion call for change, demanding a collective action to eliminate gender pay gap and promote women's economic empowerment. We must acknowledge that closing this gap is not just a matter of fairness, it is crucial for sustainable development for our nation. Empowering women and youth a shared responsibility in our society. Let us not forget that women's economic empowerment is not just an end in itself, but a catalyst for broader societal transformation. By eradicating the gender pay gap, we unlock the full potential of women and enable them to thrive in their choosing fields and careers. Support families and become active contributors to nation's progress.
She concludes her speech by admonishing female undergraduates to brace up and prepare for the opportunities that lie ahead of them and work with like minded people who will serve as their support system.
I need you to ask yourself, are you prepared for the opportunity somebody is speaking in the room for you? Are you really prepared? Are you crystal clear of what you want to make out of life? Have you been able to identify your strengths? And on your journey to success, ensure that you have like-minded people in your cycle, people who believe in your strength, people who share your vision, because those are the people that are going to fuel you when the going gets tough.
Also, Rukayat Yahaya, aka Tamira, the founder of Tamira Wellbeing Initiative, spoke on the topic poverty and extreme poverty, emphasizing that women are key actors in eradicating poverty, as having one successful woman would produce several other successful persons.
When a woman is successful, A woman will always pick every other person in her household to also be successful. When a woman is successful, she won't think about only herself alone. She will also think about people around her community and pull them up.
She asserted that raising children should not hinder a woman from achieving her goals, but rather she should seize the opportunity to raise children who would become assets to the society.
When you become a mother, how we raise them, what they become in the society tomorrow, whether they will be future leaders, whether they will be good to themselves, whether they will be positive to the community, to their society, is in your hands. I have brought this girl to the world. It is my responsibility to make my child understand the facts and understand that she is a phenomenal lady.
She states that the essence of entrepreneurship is to support and train one another as well as share ideas.
We can now learn from one another, support one another, train one another, mentor one another. There will always be struggles and challenges in the entrepreneurship world. But the idea is to let them know that they are not alone. Share opportunities where they can get soft loan, business grant to upscale their businesses.
The APC women leader for Oyo South Senatorial District, Honorable Fatima Titilayo Hassan, spoke on the role of women in active politics, where she tags women as the major challenge for younger women in active politics. She asserted that once this foundational issue is addressed, women can then call on men to support them. She encourages women not to be intimidated by fellow women, as well as strive to create a less toxic environment where more women can thrive.
Challenge a woman will probably have participating in grassroots politics could be a woman. A major challenge you probably have will still be a woman. There are other challenges, but one of the major ones is a woman. I will start by keenly appealing to we women to be less intimidated by our fellow women, not to see our fellow women as a competition, to not hate our fellow women, stop the jealousy, and do not pull down fellow women. I think it's after we get this right, we can now start addressing the issue of men not giving us chance. Men should be more accommodating of women in the terms of presenting them for opportunities. Having addressed these foundational issues, we can now discuss how women can work as a team to tackle the challenges on a general note. To start with, it is important that women already in leadership position perform well in office and lay good examples. They should also try their very best to seek opportunities for more women to be in leadership by virtue of their positions. We should not be intimidated by the growth of our fellow women, and we should try to pull others up, pull each other up. Let's mention her name if you are in a place or in a room of opportunity. It will draw you back. We can start from there, and maybe we can create a less toxic environment for women to thrive and for women to be in leadership positions.
Barrister Olubukola Olabopo, former Commissioner for Women Affairs for Osun State, spoke on gender-based violence, highlighting economic pressure, career challenges, lack of fulfillment, and bereavement, amongst others, as major causes of gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence is any form of violence. We all know what violence is. Aggression. Any type of violence that is meted out based on the gender of the victim. It can be physical, it can be emotional. We also have sexual. Let me say that rape is a form of physical, gender-based abuse. We have the socioeconomic gender-based violence. Husbands or wives who deprive their husbands or wives of sexual intimacy. It is also a form of gender-based violence. So intimate partner is the number one highest um, statistically proven persons, who commit gender-based violence. Our bosses too at work, there are bosses that will always shout you down, and there is nothing you do that will suit their purpose. We have parents too. We all know that most parents or some parents can be very negative. When you are training a child, you train in love. You lead, you nurture, and not just talk them down, because it has long term impacts on their psyche. Economic pressure. Most husbands are good, most bosses are calm, and most friends are good until there is economic pressure. When they don't have money in their pockets, they become aggressive, they transfer the aggression to their children, they transfer the aggression to colleagues, they transfer the aggression to their wives or husbands. Career challenges. We are preparing for lack of fulfillment. Also, when there are loss of loved ones, look inwardly. Nature, narcissistic persons, overly sensitive persons, saucy persons, are the people who commit gender-based violence.
Alhaja Fatima Zara Salahuddin, the CEO of Nonagon, also spoke on the topic The Willing Women, Building Resilience for Success, where she highlighted 5 defining criteria of a willing woman.
After sampling opinions from 100 countries and 500 individuals, I finally came up with 5 defining criteria for a winning woman. The first criteria: a woman who is in control of her own affairs. A woman, that's the second, who loves what she does and does what she loves. A woman who, regardless, against all odds, is advancing. A woman who knows her strengths, her weaknesses, her opportunities, and threats. And lastly, a woman who thinks she is a winning woman. So if you fall into any of these categories, then no doubt you are a winning woman. If you want to build resilience for success, I have 4 things to say to you. The first thing is that don't run away from challenges. The second thing is always remember, if you are going through it, you can go through it. Now, have a winning mindset always. The last but not the least, do not for once give up on a purpose you once resolved.
The event also featured a fireside chat panel session moderated by Mohammed Ayodele Ataba, aka Baba Slum, and Donson Fowoshere, the Speaker of the Faculty of Life Sciences, where issues concerning gender roles, gender equality, domestic chores, societal response, and the concept of feminism, amongst others, were properly addressed.
What do you think a woman is? Two, the concept of feminism in Nigeria.
Feminism is a concept on paper because as a female, if you realize who you really are, what you really are, the gifts you have within yourself, you will understand that the fact that you are a female is actually an advantage. Feminism is not a competition between a female and a male. The fact that you're a feminist does not mean that you should be radical. The fact that you're a feminist should actually be you amplifying, showcasing the prominence of the beauty of a female.
How best can we begin to allow for that inclusion of men in domestic activities so that it can be easier on women?
There are exceptional men who provide incredible support in the home. They will cook, they will clean, they will take care of the children, whatever roles come their way, they have. What we are advocating for is that you young men here today, you cannot claim to be an advocate of women's equality just by maybe when you become a husband or father, just by putting your child in school because she's a woman. That was the equality of our fathers. Your generation what you will do is be a present father, be a useful, functional adult who cleans up after your own self, who helps in the home. It's not helping. You live in the house too. Put your socks in the socks basket. Eh? Pick your kids in school. Attend PTA meetings. Take them to the doctor's appointments. If your wife is sick, your wife should not have a drip in her hand and be turning amala with the other.
You see, the reason you should cook clean for yourself is because you are well trained. Cooking your own meal is not a female thing, it's a survival skill. This concept of men allowing their women do everything, it's a cultural problem that we must address. So if you're a young man, number one, let me celebrate you. If you're a man and you've been here since morning, you did not leave, you deserve to be celebrated. It shows that there is a shift. We are moving gradually from where we were to where we are supposed to be, where we ought to be. Now, it's a women's conference. I don't expect to see this number of male. So for me to have all of it, it shows that yes, there's something doctor is telling you that you are actually understanding, and I celebrate you for that. So please, my brothers, if you don't know how to do house chores, go and learn. Go and learn. If you can't, learn to pay a maid to do it for you. Thank you.
But it is not into gender equality because societal response is still the same. They still assume those positions should still be left for men. So how do we then correct that now?
I would say that it all begins with you. It's actually your mindset. Because look at this auditorium hall. You will notice that if this event is happening 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we are not going to account for the numbers of men that we have today. So the change is there. When this person starts listening, another person too will know, okay, now it tends to become the norms. We are now seeing female contesting for presidency, female contesting for House of Assembly, and they're getting it all right. Go for the limit. Break barriers, irrespective of what people is saying, irrespective of what anybody is saying to bring it up. Go for the dream of your career.
Brothers, understand the fact that the women, your sisters, your girlfriends, your crush, everybody has their own lives to live. If they are hardworking, if God gives them the grace, if God allows, they might have more money than you. They might be successful than you. And please, yes, get used to it. Please, our sister must understand that you have your life to live. Brothers, get used to the fact that our women will succeed. And there is nothing you can do about it. The same class you go to is the one they go to. The same money your parents pay for your school fees, the same one. They are exposed to the same things you are exposed to. So why do you think you should succeed at them? Why? It is wickedness and satanic.
The concept of women supporting women. What do you think? Do you think we are really doing well as a society? Do you think we are gradually getting it right? Or we're just starting up?
The concept of women supporting women has always been in existence, but we haven't done well to push out the narrative.
Yes, we've been supporting ourselves, but we haven't been amplifying, we haven't been blowing our trumpets enough. And the society also hasn't, been doing so well with torchlighting the so many things we do.
There is no competition because the sky is big enough for all birds to fly. Absolutely. The question is, are you ready to fly? If your wings have been clipped from birth, learn to fly with your broken wings. If you have no wings, create them. If you cannot create them, borrow them. If you're a woman, did any man knock on your door and say, don't contest? It's up to you to make the decision to say, this is what I want to be in life. A man was there before me. Did anybody stop you? 50-something years ago, Fumilayo and Nikita Kokuti was breaking barriers. What is stopping you? Today, Amina Mohammed is top of the world in her field in the United Nations. What is stopping you? Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has shattered records over and again. What is stopping you? There are so many impediments in man's life. The most important impediment that I want you to overcome is the mental one. That mental emancipation until the day you decide to say, do you know what? I have what it takes. Who's stopping me? Until then, these narratives will get to you. So let me promise you, your road will be rough. It will be. The roles of every woman who shattered the glass ceiling was rough. But you know what they did? They took the bullets out of their gele, like Dora Okoye did when they tried to assassinate her for stopping fake drugs in Nigeria. They will put that gele back on their head like the crowns that belong to the queens that you are, and they will go back to the battlefield.
The event ended with the launching of the Shevolution magazine and the presentation of awards to guests. I am Vera Naziba Ederi Solomon, reporting for the Optimistic Info.